growing up, that picture was always there. Like, it didn't matter what house you went to, whether you grew up in the suburbs or you grew up in the townships. I feel if you're a certain age and if you're black, that picture's like a mainstay in your memory bank in your childhood.
It's just one of those pictures where when you see, you just kind of had that nostalgic feeling of back home. You know, it was kind of part of the fabric of South African. It's almost like, you know how people describe the Americana phase? It's very South Africana, you know, if I had to put it that way. You know, like it just takes me back to the very things that make us South African.
I grew up Dewald Brand, and all my relatives, a lot of my relatives were in and around. And I don't recall when I first saw this picture. I don't remember my mom bringing it home, but it almost seems like it was just a part of the family that was just always there.
We grew up in, you know, faced brick houses. Everything was pretty much like, you know, families almost had the same kind of template in all their houses. If it wasn't the picture of the mother and the daughter, it would be the picture of the crying boy, you know, the porcelain dogs and whatnot. So like everything was pretty much the same.
Yeah, first time I saw the picture was either at my grand's or at home with my mom and dad or at my one aunt's house. It kind of brings back that, you know, if I had to sum it up to one sentence, I'd say like, it kind of brings up the sense of nostalgia at a certain point in time.
I think so. There's so many people who hold in this picture just from their childhood.
When I see this picture like this, I have a photo with my father holding me like this. When I see it, it makes me to remind that thing.
Yes, man. I never thought I'd see this picture again. Yes. This is motherly love in its abundance.
My mom kind of looks like that mom, you know, to the point where I honestly thought that was like my mom and my sister for the longest time. And I think I'm not even alone. I think for a lot of black kids growing up, you thought that there was someone in your family, you know, it could have been your mother, it could have been your aunt, but it's one of those, I don't even know how to put it, man. It's just,
I don't know, it's one of those pictures that like before you go to sleep, you kind of focus on it when you like, you know, when you pass out. So for the longest time, I thought maybe it's a family member, maybe it's, I don't know, like it just looked like somebody who I kind of identified to.
You know, it's like, as much as mother and child's not South African, I think South Africans have taken ownership of it.
Also, I feel like the significance of it lies where it's like the epitome of what like the black mother and child should be versus what black mother and child was in the country at that time. It was nothing like that, but every black person kind of aspired to have that.
At the time when that picture came out, we're talking 60s, 70s, 80s. It's in apartheid. Black people are being oppressed. When you look at mother and child, there's just something very serene about it. There's something very powerful about it as well. What does it say at the top? Our mothers is very special. You know, I think that's what it says. That in itself is like, it reaffirms the image. It's positive.
This picture it reminds me so many things. If I see this picture, I remember my mother, because my mother now is passed away. When I see this picture, I remember everything my mom has done for me.
I think the picture says innocence. I think that's what the picture says. I think every black kid and every black mother, I think, resonates with them because we all got carried. Whether it's in the back or it's in the front, but we all got carried.
So I wonder where the origins could have come from, you know, really. Like, I mean, this may have just been something that was maybe on a magazine and somebody kind of just framed it. We don't know, I mean.
I don't get it. And it's before the time of social media, not too much TV, you know, but it was just a thing.
Everyone can connect and resonate with it. Everyone relates to this. Everyone's got their own little story about this picture. That's crazy, you know? I mean, I'd love to find out, like, who's the person who was actually behind this, you know? Are they still alive? Like, do they even know how iconic their picture was?
I want to know who they are. I want to know their story. I want to know, how did we get this picture? I love to know who they are.